9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
What up, y'all? Happy Monday. Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. What up, Lewis? My name is TK Trinidad, and we got a lot going on. But as we are doing that, as I introduce you to my co-host, let me know where you all are coming from in the chat, what city, what state, all that good stuff, so we can say what's up. Our super chats are open. So what does that mean? That means that for $2 or more, you get to ask us any questions you want, or you have to get to say whatever you need to say, and we will put it on the screen as a thank you, because without you guys' support, we would not be around. What up, producer from the future, Dylan in the building. Now, my co-host for today is the most esteemed, the most debonair. He's been in the gym, y'all. So 2026 is going to be the year, ladies. Mr. K. McCoy is in the building.
Show a little shoulder real quick. The rest you got to pay for. That's after dark and whatnot. Happy Monday, TK. How was the weekend?
Man, it was good. It was just work. It was good. I can't complain. I did a lot of work for my skincare line, which I've been neglecting, and it's popping. I just had to check in apparently, and people are like, "Oh, you still here? Bet." Orders. So appreciate y'all who've been putting in the orders for Black Friday, and yeah, just getting in. We both getting in the gym.
Yeah, we out here flexing, flexecution, flawless flexecution. I'm like an alcoholic. I've been hitting the gym. Anyway, Jim Beam. Anyway, we'll discuss that. We struck this from the broadcast. It was rain LA this weekend. It rained.
Oh yes, I forgot about that too.
Pretty much stayed in the crib, like chilled, watched a lot of UFC, a lot of wrestling. Went to the museum. That was fun. Like a rainy day, you go to the museum.
Was it on a date though, or you went on your own?
I mean, Sunday is a date on a calendar. So yeah, sure. It was a date. Yeah, sure. Got it. Yeah, of course. But yeah, that's a date. So yeah, sure. Hey.
Okay. All right. Hey, Eric. Hey, Neil. Hey, Bosa. Yeah, we did need the rain. Oh my gosh. You check out my dog's IG. She had a whole rain jacket. It was very adorable. Anywho,
that's LA weather in a nutshell. Like no umbrellas. We're wearing hoodies, and our 4-legged children are wearing the cutest raincoats.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I went to school in Oregon, so like rain is whatever. But my dog, she gonna have a pink rain jacket, living her best life.
She is fly.
Another person who had a great weekend, Miss Mercedes Moné, 13th title. And I think we saw this coming. So what did you think, or what do you think? And you know, I'm no longer, because I do like Will's point, like, you know, just enjoy the moment, even though that's not my forte. But you know, where are we going for 20? Because I think interview or a post, she said 12, and now she's at 13. So what are you thinking, if you can write this out?
At this point, Mercedes Moné is Thanos. She is Mercedes Moné, just collecting all type of championships all around. North Phoenix had an amazing showing. However, we told her weeks ago when this match was announced, I hope you pack very light coming from Malaysia. I hope you don't have a check-in. You just have a carry-on with your title and your ring gear. It's going to be a quick in and out flight. Enjoy it. However, the match was great. Nora got a lot of offense in. Mercedes really bumped for her, which I thought was amazing. And it goes to the point of there's two sides to this coin of what we're seeing with Mercedes Moné. Wrestling-wise and historic-wise, it's like, okay, cool. She's collecting championships. And that's the part where I'm like, all right, what's the end result outside of ticket sales? Is it really helping the promotions from storyline standpoints? Will she be dropping these 13 titles? Will Tony Khan allow his big women's signee, the AEW TBS champion for a year plus now, to drop 13 titles on the indies? So that's the part
Right.
where I'm kind of like trying to enjoy what I'm witnessing, but also I'm analytical. I'm a wrestling fan, and I'm wondering, is she
Keep talking. I'm
really
checking on my fries.
gonna travel the world? This is a first, by the way. I know they throw potato punches in wrestling, but TK also throws potatoes in the oven. We'll save the receipt for later, but that is the main concern. So what's going to happen with her dropping the titles now for exposure purposes? A lot of us never heard of Nor Phoenix Diana 2 weeks ago, and here we are being exposed to her, seeing what APAC wrestling is about. She's the first women's wrestler to wrestle in a hijab. Hijab, I always get that wrong, but so respect to that. And all high tides raise all ships, right? So you think about now Nor Phoenix Diana, she gets the rub. This helps her with her booking. Hopefully this helps the company. Hopefully they get a rematch. We're going to see what happens with that. But if you ever want to wonder what the Mercedes rub looks like when she wrestles someone that the mass audience may not know, just remember that the current WWE Women's World Champion wrestled Mercedes Moné, and like 5 days later got a contract with the WWE. So just keep that in mind. There will be Stephanie Vaquer, for those of us who remember their match at Forbidden Door about a year and a half ago.
Damn, was that a year and a half ago?
Yeah, man. I believe Mercedes and Mercedes Moné and Stephanie Vaquer happened at Forbidden Door 2024. That's how quick this has like been, but I want to make sure that was the case.
Well, there's two other things that are happening as far as we'll stay on the Mercedes train. So she's going to be having a match with Red Velvet to unify, because she's the interim ROH TV champion and Red is the current champion, and she got injured. And I think we talked about this too, because this happened to I think Thunder Rosa, and she was injured and they had an interim champion. And we talked about this a while ago, but I want to get your thoughts on it now. What's your thoughts as far as the interim champion, how AEW does it? Do you agree? And two, what do you think how do you think Red Velvet and Mercedes is going to play out?
I respect Tony Khan, who treats it like professional boxing. If there is a champion who cannot defend in a certain amount of time and it's not a career-ending injury, they allow for the lineal champion to step away while they find an interim champion. You see that actually a lot more in UFC with the interim champions, and then you have the lineal face the interim to determine the undisputed champion for championship unification. So that's what's happening Wednesday. I'm a little nervous for Red Velvet to see how this plays out. We've last seen Red Velvet in a wrestling ring about 5 months ago. Coincidentally, I believe, was that an ACW event actually?
She wrestled after ACW. So she did the ACW, then she wrestled after ACW.
Yeah, but she's been out since July. She's been sidelined. She's had a neck injury, so she'll be coming back from that. As far as how the match is going to play out, I think for Mercedes Moné against Red Velvet, this would not be a piece of cake.
Oh, because my
Red Velvet.
I should have had it. I should have had it ready.
You didn't have it ready. It's too late. Time has passed. You can't slice it up. It's over the frosting. You cannot
y'all who know King.
When the wumps is passed. It's conspiracies, we tell you. But I think,
and it's actually perfect timing because my cleaners are here. So let me keep on talking.
Well, I think that, speaking of stalling time, Red Velvet versus Mercedes Moné, I think we're going to get a TV time limit. Remember, this is the ROH TV championship, the women's TV championship, and I can see a way where we get a draw, where we get a TV time limit between Mercedes Moné and Red Velvet. I don't want to see Red Velvet come back and get squashed by Mercedes Moné. I personally thought Mina Shakira defending the interim title was kind of anyway, to kind of have Mercedes have that as a way to capture her, I think, then 11th title, I think it was. That was her 11th or 12th. But I would like to see Red Velvet look strong and not just come back
Right.
and get fed and then vanish again. I want to see her
Right.
actually work a program with Mercedes, and I could see this on AEW television being a TV time limit, and then at the next ROH pay-per-view, that's when they actually determine a winner, which will likely be Mercedes. But I just don't want to see Red Velvet come back and drop. You know,
Yeah,
I would like
that's
to
what
do a
I'm.
time limit.
Yeah, like I kind of would like shenanigans, so it's not a clean loss to Mercedes, and it's not a, you know, it doesn't. I think we see the writing on the wall, and you know, I might be wrong, but I feel like, you know, Mercedes is gonna get this title as well, but in this effort to protect your AEW wrestlers for the future, it just makes sense to kind of build up to that.
Yeah, give us a reason to watch another ROH pay-per-view. That's pretty much what it is. I believe the next one will be Final Battle come December 5th down in Columbus. I used to get it in Ohio. So if you really want to show that Mercedes Moné is a fighting champion and really sell her on ROH, then this should go to a time limit on Wednesday between Mercedes and Red Velvet, and then you can run it back. Because, well, unless Mercedes does become unified champion on Wednesday, and then here comes Mina Shawakar to get her lick back, and those would be the two at Final Battle. But I want to see Red Velvet get some shine. She's put in the work. She's coming back from a neck injury. I just don't want to see her return and drop, because if that happens, you could have just stripped her from the title anyway. You should have just had her vacate the title and have another tournament to determine the lineal champion, as opposed to have Red Velvet be shelved with an injury, create an interim champion just to have her come back and drop to Mercedes. So I would like the TV time limit. Tony Khan, I know you're a P1. You love women's wrestling talk. Just everything's a pencil. You can erase it and put in, you know, our idea. See what happens.
Yeah,
you have enough time.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think definitely. And Maria, you know, said it. Red, and I think also somebody else said it in the chat. Well, a couple people said, you know, Red's one of their great favorite wrestlers, and you know, I am definitely a fan of Red. So it's just one of those things where, personally, I don't want to see it happening. But if it does happen, I want it to make sense. I just don't want it to come and, oh, you know, she just dropped. Now Mercedes has 14 titles. Like, let's make it, you know, a little bit more interesting.
Will it be 14 or it'll be finally like, it'll still be, because technically it's like 12 and a half because she's interim
technically
women's TV champion. So it'll be like it'll be like a full 13. You know what I mean? It'll be like a full 13 finally. She's the interim champ. So right.
Yeah. It didn't seem like a. I almost feel like if you knew that, and I don't think it was a neck injury for Red. I think it was like a shoulder injury. I think if you knew it was going to be a short stint that she was going to be away, it would have almost made more sense to put it on somebody else and or leave it until she came back, like give it a timeline, opposed to putting it on Mercedes, because now you're forcing a story that didn't necessarily need to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mercedes was AEW and every other promotion. Now you've inserted her into ROH, and it's just kind of like you already have Athena, who's at 1,000+ days. And now if you put it on Mercedes, then, you know, how, and, you know, yes, I don't want to be that person, but I am the person who reads the book from the back. So how are you going to get this title off of her? At what point? You know what I'm saying? And ROH and AEW are kind of the home base for her. So if I'm Tony Khan and I want to make sure my number one star and my highest paying person is, you know, looks the greatest, then you want the title on her for a long time. Now you're tying up ROH and AEW. And it's just like, well, where does the rest of the women go? You know, so it's one of those things where it's like, okay. However, you know, I don't want to poo-poo on AEW all the time. Shout out to, oh my God, I had his name and then I lost his name.
Tony Khan.
No, I have his WWE name and I don't want to disrespect him.
Swerve
No,
Strickland.
no.
Sean Spears is not in AEW anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Ricochet, Bobby Lashley, MVP.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
former champion
Oh my
in the
gosh.
mid
What's his
in the
name?
mid
I'm gonna
card.
Google it. I don't want to say it because I know
Did
like
they
it'll.
did they just show up? Have they been there for a
No,
minute?
they were doing John Moxley.
Oh, John Moxley. Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was seeing his face and I was thinking of his WWE name, and I'm like, that's not it. John Moxley on commentary on Collision. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
Oh
pretty
my
cool.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole
Yeah.
setup was pretty dope when they had it was started off with Daddy Magic, Matt Menard, with the Death Riders coming out, and Daniel Garcia seeing his old mentor, his old roommate, his own boy, and just smack him in the mouth and whipping his ass. And I like how Daddy Magic didn't just be like, damn, I got my ass whooped, and continue back on commentary. You know,
Right.
Moxley was just there like, oh, what happened here? And him and Marina Shafir pulled up and they just started like
Yeah. I
doing
mean, it was
commentary.
very comical to me. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
MDV double 999 is saying it was a yawn, but I found it. I like dry humor, so maybe that's why it resonated to me. So it was very funny. While we are doing that, I'm debating if we should do our Raw preview for our producer from the future, or we should talk about a little bit more stories. What you want to do?
You want to talk about Moana anyway?
Yeah, I kind of do. The live version. Look, I'll tell you what, Disney be getting. It's like, oh, you have the 1980s. I know Moana wasn't back there, but like how they're doing their cartoon versions. Like you have the old school cartoon, then you have the updated cartoon, and then you have the live action. Just in case you didn't get enough of the original story, like. I get it.
Disney, Datney, all the needs. They're going to figure out how to get the bag and walk to the bank. So the trailer came out for it. I saw it. The Rock put it on his. It's a teaser trailer for a live action movie for Moana. The animated Moana isn't even 10 years old yet, so I was kind of confused as to how we get a live action of the animated. It's just a lot with this Moana thing. Talk about putting the moan in Moana. Oh sheesh, another version, another adaptation. Didn't Lilo and Stitch just come out? We just had the live action Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, but everything is not for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, clearly this is not.
Here's an example. Would you have Black Panther, right? Say hypothetically you had the cartoon version, then you had the real version, right? And then now you have a live action version, all within a 12-year span. Would you go and see the live action version?
We haven't had a cartoon Black Panther movie.
I'm just saying if this is the hypothetical, would you go and see the live action?
Hypothetically, I mean, look how long it took to even get Black Panther out. I mean, so I don't know. I don't know if a hypothetical exists because they're gonna do it. But you know what? To answer the question,
you would.
Yes, I guess, because it's about representation and I like it, and
exactly.
like it's my thing. But that's a 12-year span. This hasn't even been 10 years for Moana. Moana just came out, and then it just came out with a sequel. The sequel just came out.
It does not matter. I honestly think if they were to do that for Black Panther, which you kind of bring a point, but hypothetically they were to do that for Black Panther or some other, representation thing, that people will come out in droves. And I think for Moana, especially because it's kid friendly, especially that it's attached to The Rock, etc., I think it's like return on investment. They wouldn't do it. There was no money involved. So,
oh no, this is absolutely like a cash grab like no other. It's just, but it's a gross cat. From the moment you saw it, you was like, "Wait, a live action Moana? Didn't 2 just come out?" It just seems like we just need money. Like it's just Black Adam didn't work, so Rocky has to still recoup on whatever Black Adam losses. So let's just do a live action version of a franchise that's less than 10 years old, and a sequel came out 3 years ago. A matter of fact, rumor has it, TK, this is breaking news, that Disney is going to do an animated version of the live action version of Moana to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of the animated film of Moana. If you smell what I'm cooking.
I had it ready this time.
What the Rock smells cooking, that's money printing. That's money printing. That's what that is. So give money. I ain't mad at it. But well, clearly with this rant, I'm just a little like, oh yeah, really? But it's Disney, so everybody gonna go. So get the money. Anyway, Women's Wrestling Talk brought to you by Disney. Make sure you see the new Moana animated film come out. Can you imagine
that part? That's hilarious. Disney's gonna do a live action version of WWE. Can you imagine if they had a WWT After Dark, a live action version set out in the streets, just setting along? Oh my gosh, that would be the start of it. Just, you know,
if for some reason Ced is portrayed by The Rock, it's just like just Rock's in it. It's like, what? All right.
Who would play Will? Oh my gosh.
Will will be played by like The Rock. It'll be like a Nutty Professor type of deal where Rocky just plays all the characters. Like
and then what? Eddie Murphy's gonna play you and me.
Oddly enough, it will be Eddie Murphy playing us, but The Rock will be playing Eddie Murphy playing us. Listen, if he doesn't win this award for Smashing Machine, he's gonna really show us his thread, his what's the word I'm looking for? His spectrum, his range of acting. So he's just gonna play all of us. It's gonna be like a Tyler Perry movie or something.
Okay.
Boza, you read my mind, brother. Yeah. Tyler Perry is gonna be like a Tyler Perry influence. Tyler Perry presents The Rock as WWT After Dark live animated movie starring Ced. That's the full name of the movie, by the way.
Well, okay. Well, there it is. I look forward to that version. I think.
Yeah.
I think. I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, I want to say I'm not sure if anybody watch it, but shout out to Dave LaGreca for putting me in my place. So, you know, anything is possible. You know, so we're not just WWE, we're not just little WWT, we're WWT. But for our producer from the future, Kane, you want to get into what's happening for Raw tonight?
Whoo! MSG, Madison Square Garden, New York City. The final appearance of our guy John Anthony Felix Cena. Is that his full name? I just pulled that out. I'm gonna get paperwork put on me to stay away 500 yards from him. Anyway, but this is his last Monday Night Raw, and we're gonna see if he actually wrestles tonight. I think Cena wrestles tonight. Will he defend the IC title? Who knows? Will Dom be looking for his look back? Will Rey Mysterio want a shot at the IC title and Dom costs John Cena? And then we get Rey Dom for the IC title, not the AAA title, come Survivor Series in San Diego. That's going to be interesting to see. How long would John Cena be IC champion? I can't foresee whomever wins the Last Time Is Now tournament facing John Cena for the IC title December 13th at Saturday's night main event in Washington, D.C. I'm choked up just thinking about seeing this last match. Sorry, everybody. But so I think in the next coming weeks, Cena's going to get the title off of him. Would they do it in New York City tonight? I mean, that's a lot of heat on Dom. You know what I mean? So I'm interested to see what happens tonight. I think he wrestles. And also what I'm looking forward to the most is Solo Sikoa in the Last Time Is Now tournament. He's going to take on a mystery opponent. Who could it be? I think it's going to be Joe Hendry. It won't be a heel. It has to be a face. If you're gonna do a surprise, you don't make a surprise for a heel. So I think it's gonna be Joe Hendry. Adam Pearce put out there that no one got the name right yet, but even if we did, you know, he wouldn't
What do you
admit to
say?
it, obviously, you know, and it's not like Adam Pearce would be making the announcement. I'm sure Triple H is gonna once again steal his thunder and like be like overprotective balls to make the announcement again. And there was no side note, no reason for Triple H to be in the ring last week to open Raw. John Cena's last time in Boston, and the first face we see is Triple H. Now, I know Triple H is technically a New Englander because he's from New Hampshire and whatnot, but Adam Pearce is the general manager of Raw. The match should have been made by Adam Pearce. They could have had a quick 5 seconds. Adam Pearce comes out and say, "You're going to fight John Cena, Dominic Mysterio for Access title." That's it. But Triple H did everything. It just, I don't know. It just kind of big boyed Adam Pearce. This is Adam Pearce's job to make matches, not yours, Triple H. Okay, anyway, back to tonight though. But I can foresee Joe Hendry being his opponent, and or the guy who's just been posting shirtless pictures showing how ripped he is, the Ayatollah of rock and roller. If we see that countdown tonight, we're gonna mark out, bro. That 10, 9, 8, 7. Because it's a countdown to the end of Cena's career. What better place to have that countdown to celebrate the return of Chris Jericho? So we're gonna see, but those are my two guesses: Joe Hendry or Chris Jericho for Solo Sikoa's opponent tonight. Also happening on Monday Night Raw, we're gonna see Becky Lynch defend her women's Intercontinental title against Maxine Dupree. I think we're gonna get a 1, 2, 3 moment, a 1, 2, 3 kid moment tonight. I think Maxine Dupree is going to upset Becky Lynch, and
you think so?
The women's Intercontinental champion. Thank you. And here's why: if Jessica Carr is in that ring refereeing, we still have to tie up that loose end from the first Maxine Dupree Becky Lynch match, in which Jessica Carr 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You were eliminated and got disqualified. Becky Lynch was, and Maxine Dupree picked up the count out win, the count out victory. And Becky Lynch has been doing promos on that Jessica Carr. That referee tried to F me. We have to find a way. We have to find a way to tie all these loose ends together between Becky Lynch, Maxine Dupree, and Jessica Carr. And I think what better place to do it than Madison Square Garden. So Maxine Dupree, I can see back-to-back weeks where we get the IC title elevated, propped up to a level that needs to be seen. Because you got to remember, both world champions are going to be in War Games, I believe, right? Like on the men's side and the women's side. So we have to find a way to big up some type of singles title, and then I can see Becky and Maxine Dupree running it back at Survivor Series or something. But if you really want to give us those moments that Triple H speaks about, those you never know moments, you never know, then this is the time. And again, we got to tie up that Jessica Carr referee situation. So I think that rears its head tonight, and then we're gonna have the return of the Ring General.
This is gonna be good.
I don't have enough Deutschland in me to properly do it. Some say I have enough douche because I'm anyway, but not enough Deutschland, a lot of Germany to get my whatever happened to that guy, Ludwig Kaiser, like what he doing anyway. But Gunther makes his return tonight, and he's going to be taking on the young OG, that boy bouncy, Javon Evans.
Ooh, do you think he's gonna be bouncy though after this is done?
I don't know. I could see a move, TK, where like Javon Evans is jumping off the. I just need this one spot of Javon Evans doing some crazy jumping off the third rope, and Gunther just smacking, my man's into obliteration. Just smack him into the NXT tag title match he has tomorrow night alongside Leon Slater, bruv, the Rasclot man himself, against Dark State for the NXT tag titles tomorrow night. So Javon Evans has an insane 48 hours in New York City to be wrestling in the Garden and then wrestling in the theater. But Gunther's gonna win this, and I just hope that Javon Evans can make it to Gold Rush tomorrow. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, it might be
Gunther
the
might
angle
beat
right
that
there.
boy. Yeah. I just hope he can make it to that because that makes Dark State. That gives a reason for Dark State to like look good tomorrow and retain if Javon Evans is injured, and hopefully leads to a rematch between Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Well, Leon's like, "Hey, bruv, what? Like, what you doing, bruv? Why are you before our tag team title match, bruv? Why are you wrestling Gunther, man? You're madman, you rascal." And then that can lead back to Javon Evans and Leon Slater not being brevs no more. The accent, I know, is good, right? Right, bruv? Ping ting.
Congratulations are in order to two people. Indy Hartwell, she announces her engagement. So congratulations to her. And I think if I read this correctly, wasn't it? Oh, let me see. Let me see if I read this correctly. Because I think she was in her post, she thanked Hinge. And I don't know if that was a joke or not. But
no, listen, as someone who hopes to also one day post an engagement photo with a thank you of Hinge, yeah, they met on Hinge. And shouts to her. I believe her girlfriend or now her new fiance is Lizette. This G. Lizette. So I mean, yeah, I mean, you are a G if you out here wifing up Indy Hartwell. So shouts to them. Also, big shouts to Dexter Loomis for being cool with it. Stupid. What are they getting married in Utah or something? Is it like a it's like a thing? It's like a throuple thing? What's is this? Professional wrestling. That was just silly.
Actually, let's go to this. I want to discuss this. So Rebel, she confirms that she has pulmonary lymphoma. She had put a video out yesterday. So definitely, I'm gonna see. I've been meaning to look into it to see if there's like any way to donate or support. But we definitely want to send our thoughts. I hate that thoughts and prayers thing. It seems so generic, but positive vibe. That seems very LA. But
It's
that
just the
she gets
positive
through her
vibes.
journey.
Yeah, I mean, I watched this video and I could barely get through it. It's tough when you hear Rebel talk about how in May of 2024 she was diagnosed with pneumonia. She had pneumonia issues she was dealing with, and the issues just lingered. And then she went back, and they were like, "Well, actually, it's not pneumonia." And it's like, "Wait, what?" So she was initially misdiagnosed, which sucks because you try to go to the hospital and trust the doctor's opinion and not try to seek a second opinion. You just, okay, cool. You told me what it is. Let's try to get it straight. But then it's like, no, it's not pneumonia. It's lymphoma, which are two totally different things. One of the things that we want to try to catch as early as possible, pulmonary, that's your heart, that's your chest, that's breathing, that's your lungs. And I just feel for her that time is of the essence and you have to wait to get diagnosed again. And just I know that doctors go to college and go to they do a lot of work, whatever, but you can't treat every person or every case as just this broad. All right, what are the symptoms? Okay, cool. You have to be specific. And for her to give the symptoms that she gave, that never sounded like pneumonia in the first place. It sounded something more serious. It's just in my opinion. So just like believe what people are saying to you, to the medical professionals. And it's just a really tough thing to hear because it feels like you just saw her on TV and you've kind of been wondering where she's been. And now you get this. You saw her alongside Britt Baker, and it was like, well, maybe because Britt Baker's kind of having her situation with AEW, they're just kind of waiting to put her back with Britt if Britt returns. But then you hear something like this, and it's like, oh my God. Like, you know what I mean? So, but, you know, we're going to remain positive with this and just wish the best for Rebel. I've been watching her since the TNA days, so it was dope to see her in AEW as well, and now to have this happen. So we're going to wish for the best for her. Positive vibes from everyone here at Women's Wrestling Talk.
Perfect, Payne. Well, thank you for that. And going from that to some good news, Tori Wilson, she becomes a mother through surrogacy. So she posted that on her. It's a very busy weekend. She posted that on her social media recently too.
Shout out to Tori Wilson, man. Good. Mommy Tori. I love it.
Yeah. This is something that's going to be known. Roxanne Perez, she is going to make her debut on Hot Ones.
like the wing eating thing?
Yeah.
Like she's gonna eat the wings?
Yes.
Oh wow. We're gonna get a pretty good, we're gonna get some good memes out of that.
I wonder because you never really know. You have people who are really great with spices, and then you have people who they're in between, and then you have people who completely suck. I think the people who completely suck, they know. And then I think the people who think they can thug it out, that's where it gets kind of dicey.
Yeah. Roxanne Perez, I think she's going to do well. If Roxanne Perez can survive a skateboard being broken across her back by Cora Jade, then I'm sure she can survive eating some hot wings. Wait, what just happened? We just got a DMCA takedown because we said Cora Jade's name. There goes the show. Damn. The rest of this night been recorded. We're gonna get the cease and desist just for saying Cora Jade's name.
Oh my gosh. MDB 999 says she's supposed to be Latina. She better take this. That don't mean nothing. As a person of West Indian descent, I can't take any spice. I am a punk with spices, so that don't mean nothing at all.
It's nothing, not a thing. No Ross Clot spices.
Oh my goodness!
I enjoy MDB said there's only one Hot Ones. I was like, first of all, there's multiple Hot Ones. We're all Hot Ones. Hot One was actually my nickname in high school. Not because on a scale from 1 to 10 I was hot, but I was number 1 on the scale. So it was like, oh, he's a hot one, I guess.
Will you be getting yourself a copy of the book All Elite?
I'm gonna this is gonna sound real brokish or gets fiscally fit. I am waiting for it to go down in price on Amazon.
How much is it on Amazon?
I think it's $33, American dollars. And I was like, I could fade it. But I was like, I feel like during the holiday or Black Friday Prime, it's gonna go down. So I'm gonna wait. So it's in my cart. It's in my cart. I favored it. I put it in my cart. But I'm gonna wait for it. I think it's gonna go down for Black Friday, or if I happen to visit what's that place that has books? That's a store, a bookstore. That's right. I'm gonna go to a bookstore,
like Barnes and Noble.
They have it on sale. Yeah, like a Barnes and Noble or something. I'm gonna go down to the Grove maybe and then see if they have it. Once I'm able to find parking at the Grove, they'll take.
Parking at the Grove during the holidays is not.
Yeah. So once I find parking,
why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah, so yeah, but I'm gonna cop the book though. I'm excited. I have a new coffee table, so I can't wait to put the wrestling book on there. So when the people come over, they say, "Oh, what is this?" And I'm like, "Here's a bloody photo of John Moxley."
I don't even know how to segue, but something that you also might want to invest in is the Women's Wrestling Archive.
Women's wrestling didn't just show up yesterday in glitter boots. We've been here the entire time, body slamming through history.
The Women's Wrestling Archive launches January 1st, 2026, and it's going to pave the way for all women's wrestling.
Because if we don't document it, a man might say he did it first.
This has been a passion project for a very long time. Head over to the womenswrestlingarchive.com to donate 1, 5, or whatever you can. It all goes a long way.
Let's give these women the spotlight that they've always deserved.
Her story belongs in history. Help us preserve it today. Join us at womenswrestlingarchive.com. Support the archive. Support women's wrestling. Donate today.
Great holiday gift. Do it. Now, everybody on mute. TK was doing the Beyonce mute challenge.
I don't know why it went on mute. Great holiday challenge for great holiday gift for sure. Last story that we have is Jody Threat announced that she's going to be having a match with Mercedes for the second time because she had one in Winnipeg. I didn't see if it was a rematch, but it would make sense if it were. So how do you think this is going to play out?
So I read it and I was like kind of confused by the wording, but it looks like it's two separate things apparently. So sorry that introduction got a dusty finish, everybody. Apologies about that. But she was on a podcast called In the Weeds to talk about New Wave Wrestling Academy. They have an upcoming show in Toronto, but she also talked about the show at Winnipeg Pro. Because when I first read it, I was like, "Oh, Mercedes and Jody finna run it back. Okay, let's see." But no, that's not what's happening. So, but yeah, if anybody's in Toronto, if TK wants to come back home and watch this for a quick sec, it looks like November 30th they have this match happening. But yeah, she just spoke about like the nerves of it. You know what I mean? Like of her facing like Mercedes and. It was really dope to kind of hear her perspective. Check that out. It's on the YouTube of this In the Weeds podcast. Yeah, it's on the Fightful website, but it's the In the Weeds podcast. So shout out to Jody Threat, man. She an OG. She been around for a long time in women's wrestling. I know there's been talks about her contract at the moment with TNA to kind of figure out like what they're going to do with it. But you know, I
was wondering why I didn't see her on the pay-per-view on Friday.
Yeah, it's just Danny Luna, kind of like Dolo. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's just Danny Luna who had a very, very hardcore match with Indy Hartwell on Friday night. What did you think about Turning Point, TK? Did
oh my gosh, I did. I was watching both screens. I really did enjoy it. I actually enjoyed it more than SmackDown. And now I even think about it too, given the fact that they're like, you know, it's not owned by WWE, but it's kind of in direct competition. I wonder, you know, if they would like to have it kind of going on the same time was a wise choice, or does it matter if people just go back and like watch it back?
Yeah, TNA's doing very much like separate but equal, like pseudo sovereignty type of situation. Obviously, we had the big surprise, not surprise, but Desmond Xavier makes his return to TNA, becoming, I believe, the first superstar to have his TNA name and his WWE name on TNA television. He was Dez in TNA, left TNA, become Wesley in WWE, during the Invasion partnership, shows up on TNA as Wesley, and then he's back as Desmond Xavier. So that was pretty exciting to see. Also exciting to see Samson got the hair back. He had his dreads. And I was like, wait a minute, brother. I love you, Wesley. I love you, Desmond Xavier. But did you just Fetty Wap us? Is this the Fetty Wap? Did like you crochet? Because I'm sure when he cut his dreads, he kept them. So I'm sure those are his dreads. Those are
oh, you think that's what he did?
No, he probably just kept the dreads and just crocheted them back in and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And he was out here like looking saucy. You know what I'm saying? He looked like the Wesley North American champion that we all grew to love. So, you know, way better than any type of dreadlocks that Tyler Perry could do. At least, you know, he wasn't Tyler Perry wigging it. You know what I mean? So, you know, he was back out here. The Rascals picked up the win versus the system.
They did. Did we know if he's re-signed? Because it almost seems like if it's not, if it was just a one-off, then I mean it's great. He got a great pop, but like, why?
I can see it being like I don't know if they're still doing per match appearances.
Yeah.
But you know, it will be good to see the Rascals kind of with all four of them together. Maybe they can go after like the TNA tag titles, or maybe the Rascals can show up on NXT and Desmond Xavier becomes the first person to be on WWE television as a TNA wrestler after being on TNA television as a WWE wrestler. So,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, because there's nobody else. Because I was thinking of who else? No, everybody is just WWE into TNA.
Yeah. But also, Zachary Wentz's contract is up too. I read his contract's going to be up, so I can see them boys trying to be all elite.
Really?
Yeah, the tag division get a little
and that money's probably looking like better at AEW than TNA.
Jeffrey Reimer, Jeffrey says in the chat, didn't he turn on Rascals? What's a little fight with your mans and them? Y'all be boys.
Yeah, they're boys.
Y'all squabble for a little bit.
And also, they did talk about that during commentary. So they did address it and how they got back together, and also so they didn't forget about it. So they did address it during commentary. So they did talk about it. But if the rumors are true and AEW does have, you know, more funds than TNA, then that would be a good look. Again, it's just one of those things that, you know, you're bringing these people from WWE or TNA, and are you going to use them? Like, I mean, I'm for everybody getting a job, but, you know, the Rascals is just such a great team that if you just don't use them, then what was the
Rascals point? Feel like they'll get over though. Like they have a style built for AEW, in my opinion. They remind me of when Ricochet went to AEW. You know, for the moment, I said AEW was meant for Ricochet to be in, and AEW feels like a place for Wesley, for Zachary Wentz as well. Like it just feels perfect. Even for Trey Miguel and Myron Reed. I don't know their situations at the moment, but yeah, it's just some companies are like, oh yeah, like this will be it for them. So we're gonna see. Also, we saw Indy Hart. I was talking about that. Indy beat Danny Luna. The Inspiration retain their tag titles. Inspirational Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay retained. I was shocked by that because we heard some rumors that they're working without a contract, which I was like, well, sounds like they're doing date by date to me. But yeah, if you don't have those knockout women's tag team titles, then yeah, let's put it on some recognizable names that we know. They defeated Lei Ying Lee and Zia Brookside, the Angel Warriors, and Victoria Crawford and Mila Moore, who had a great showing. Now it was supposed to be Tessa Blanchard, but Tessa came out, no ring gear on. She was like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm not, you know." I'm not outside. I'm not clear to wrestle. At first, I was like, is this Tessa Blanchard being like, my tag team partner's Hugh was a little, I was like, okay, we're not going to go there.
What?
So Mila Moore had came out. Mila Moore, if those of us who remember NXT way back in the day, Mila Moore had a developmental contract with NXT back in the day. And she was part of like the releases like a hot little minute ago. I think she was like Mila Milani or something, but she was in developmental in 2022, I believe, is when she got her release. So it's dope to see her continue, get better, get stronger, and show up here as Mila Moore. So you know, she had a really good showing in that tag match. And if you happen to read the Impact spoilers, she also has a good match coming up next Thursday. So yeah, Turning Point was cool. You know, a lot of us still had that bad taste in our mouths from the Santana situation on Impact on Thursday, but Steve Maclin teamed with Mike Santana to take on new TNA champion Frank Kazarian and Nick Nemeth, with Maclin and Santana getting the win. Santana showed up about 10 minutes late. He pulled up in the whip. You know what I'm saying? He pulled up in the Benz. wrist tape. Let's wrestle. Let's get it. But post match, we saw the NXT crew come out. Brooks Jensen, Lexis King,
A very interesting
um,
ending.
High Rise, even though Desmond Xavier, the former Wesley's there too, but so I thought that was kind of funny. Charlie Dempsey, like everybody was there who pulled up and they laid everybody flat. Nick Nemeth thought about cancel because Nick Nemeth was the other half of the Call Your Shot Gauntlet winner, and he thought about laying out Kazarian before he could do. Brooks Jensen attacked Nick Nemeth. That's a Mad Lib sentence if you never heard it before. But and then Nick just kind of stayed away. He was just like, all right, I'm knocked out.
I'm done here.
Because that's his real first interaction during the Invasion partnership that Nick's had.
Right.
The former WWE NXT champion, the former Dolph Ziggler, who is also rumored tonight to be John Cena's opponent, but I can't.
You think so?
I can't put that. Yeah, I think it's Joe Hendry or Chris Jericho, but Joe Hendry's my number one. Joe Hendry in Madison Square Garden. Yes, that is a moment. That's a big deal. And I think everyone needs that. Now, will he win the tourney? Who knows? But
it almost the way he's been building, and even through TNA, and then his appearances on WWE, it feels like that would be a great start. But has he fully learned the WWE way of things?
Joe Hendry?
Yeah.
Oh, Joe Hendry been WWEing since he was in ICW. You know what I mean? This guy is ready made for WWE. The act of, because that's one of the biggest things you could do in a Stanford territory is get over. And brother, that man knows how to get himself over. Mm-hmm. He got himself over more than anybody can ever imagine. That WWE came to him and was just like, this is the guy. This is the guy that, he's the first TNA champion that they ever, had in. Joe Hendry faced Randy Orton at WrestleMania. I mean, right. They behind them boys. They are behind him. So, as I've been saying, I think he's going to have a huge 2026, and they're surrounding Joe Hendry with the biggest of the biggest. They're surrounding him to be a big time player. And I think tonight he's going to be because even though Zack Ryder, aka Matt Cardona, was the person that doesn't work here showing up in the tournament, I think Joe Hendry will also be the person who doesn't work here showing up. Even though it hasn't been publicly announced or addressed with Joe Hendry, I think he's still being presented as a TNA guy. Even though we know now he on the 1st and 15th, he's getting them Stanford checks.
Speaking of checks, it's that time for us to go and make some money. If you guys are interested in VPNs, NordVPN, we have a really great deal for you. You get I believe you get 1 month and then 3 months free. You can use our code WWT. So go to nordvpn.com, put in our code, and we got you covered. With that being said, Mr. K. McCoy, where can everybody find you?
Yeah, man, out here, Kane McCoy. I'm on Threads. Check me out. If anybody works at Twitter and can get me back into my account, please help. But Threads is lit, though. I like Threads. It's a little more active than Blue Sky. So I'm on Threads talking wrestling, talking football. James Franklin, new coach of Virginia Tech. Go Hokies. I'm excited to watch foosball again. So, it's a good day in sports. It's a good day in sports.
Well, thank you very much for joining. You can follow me, guys, everywhere at TK Trinidad. I will be at a couple of shows in Miami in a couple of weeks, so I'll let you guys know the schedule, and holla at me. Make sure you can check out Women's Wrestling Talk on all social media platforms at www.talkpod.com. We just had a interview drop with Angel Orcia She's like back in the day, one of the original ECW girls. Also part of the Women's Wrestling Hall of Fame. So check out that interview that dropped today. We have another interview dropping. Actually, we have probably another interview dropping every week until the middle of December. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And with that
by the way,
being said,
real quick before you forget, love your
Yes.
t-shirt. Shouts to Freya the Slayer.
Oh yes. If y'all, I like supporting women's wrestlers. So I have like a stack of women's wrestler shirts, and I was like, probably should be wearing them on the show. So pretty much every show I'll be wearing a different shirt. That will be my thing. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk. Here, everybody try to get me, Kane. Here we go. They try to get me, Kane. The number one women's wrestling show on the planet. Ciao for now.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling network on the planet.